The first thing I would say about organising a demo or a farm walk event is you're never going to do it on your own. You have to build a team around you to organise a farm walk, because it's impossible to cover all the aspects of the farm walk by yourself. Another step would be that when you're organising your farm walk, that you would know your target audience. So that would be something we would anticipate in advance at our meetings. Who are we going to target this at? In our case, it's usually farmers. In this case, we are targeting farmers and ag students. Generally, when we go about selecting a host farm, it's usually an aspect of their farm and business that they're doing very, very well. For example, they might be breeding a very good type of cow, or they might be excellent at grassland management. There'll be something that will stand out from the crowd, from the general run, that we'll target. The content of the farm walk then, once we have our host farmer and our topic, what it breaks down to, we would definitely discuss with the farmer, because really that's the story we want to get out there. Because if we regurgitate everything from a scientific point of view, sometimes the message would be lost. It's better to get the farmer's point of view and relay that, and then build in our content on that. So we would come together and have kind of what we call a preparation meeting. And we would go through all the different aspects, from what are we going to talk about, why are we going to talk about it. Some topics can be very large, so we have to pin it down to what do we think at a particular time of year do we target. The first thing I would have done for this farm walk is come down myself and done a health and safety audit. So there would be 2 forms I have to fill out: walk the farm, check different aspects with livestock, and check that there's no disease issues on the farm or any neighbouring farms. So that has to be done first, because there's no point in having all your boards done and everything else and all your speakers if you haven't got health and safety clearance. And once all that's organised, then certain people take certain jobs, and then we would pull all that together and make information boards. On those information boards would be key information from the host farmer, plus some general information for our target audience. We don't want them going home with 10 messages. We'd prefer to go home with 2 to 3 key messages that they can then implement on their own farm. Somebody would contact the local papers and put an advertisement in it. We would get local newsletters done as well. We would organise text messages on the phone to contact all the clients a couple of weeks in advance, and then a reminder text. But we have a very good local radio station that has an agricultural programme on a Wednesday night. So last night I went on that and was interviewed for 20 minutes over the phone on the aspects of the farm walk, so that I could refresh people's memory. On the day, we will all gather in the Teagasc office first, gather our Teagasc direction signs, and we'll organise different routes from the office that everyone will put up a number of signs to make sure that everyone can get there. And then we gather on the farm and we go and check that the boards are up correctly, check our sound system. We would have our handouts to hand those out to the farmers as they arrive. We could have guest speakers, so make sure that we're there, to greet those and get them to their different stands. To encourage interaction at farm walks, what we do is we would tell the farmers that we'd encourage them after the presentation, it could be 10 or 15 minutes long, that we would like them to ask questions. That can be difficult to do. So in a lot of the farm walks, what we've started to do is to break the groups into smaller numbers, because if there's a very large number, people feel intimidated and they won't ask. If you know your target audience, you can sometimes target question, well, John, you've done this on your farm, and you bring them in. That's not always possible, but at a more local level, you can definitely do that, because you know the farmer will be comfortable in answering that, because you know your target audience. The most important thing that I would find for a demo event or any farm walk event would be that I make sure that I get a point across in language that's usable and understandable by the farmer, that he can then go home and replicate that then on his farm. There's no point in having a farm walk if nothing is done when the farmer goes home.